yards for the touchdown. And the AFC able to stretch that big lead even further. The AFC coming to the line. They'll go for 2 here. Jackson. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot.
No.
No, okay.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Lamb will go in motion. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. And the NFC punt team out there now as he's on to kick it away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The AFC's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Throwing is Jackson. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And shutting him off, now open field. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone. Going out. A solid chunk there, 15 yards. In motion left, Flowers. They'll fake the jet sweep, and now it's Jackson off play action. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 23 yards, the final tally. Henry. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. He's going to get it again. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Derrick Henry from a yard away bowling his way in. And the AFC just continues to pour it on. The AFC coming to the line. They'll go for 2 here. Jackson now. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. Here's Jackson. Open man. He completes it to Judy. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Down the sideline he goes, inside the 10, and he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Derrick Henry, 64 yards, and the AFC able to stretch that big lead even further. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. To throw is Goff. Keeps himself upright. Now he's forced out left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. They still need about the length of the football here. Maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Goff. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Here's Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be a short field ahead as the AFC takes over, 1st and 10. And the busy night for Henry continues. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Back to throw. Goff. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A shotgun snap for Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that's picked. Look at the big man rumble. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Goff now looks to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Max Crosby make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Third down. 3rd and 15.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to it, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and that's picked up by the AFC. Racing to the end zone, and he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And they don't get it. For the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
Chris Boswell set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Max Crosby, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Here's 2nd and 10. Goff. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
Here's Jackson to throw. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
It's a turnover on down.
Goff now looking to throw. And, oh, it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They go play action with Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And they work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jackson. And this one's incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And Jackson throwing once more. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
On second and goal, here's the option. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the AFC just continues to pour it on. The AFC coming to the line. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good.
As we prepared for these games, we've noticed offensive coordinators have had an expanded playbook on 2-point conversion tries because they never know when they may have to use it during a game.
But that also means the defense probably has more for these situations too, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think for the most part, defenses will be aggressive on 2-point tries. They want to get after the offense and make them force the issue.
And here the defense wins. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And now their hill to climb has gotten taller. They had the safety last time they had the football. That led to the touchdown a moment ago. So that deficit going in the wrong direction as they try to right the ship here. 1st and 10. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Goff. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Here's Goff. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
At the AFC's 43-yard line.
Goff now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
It's Kelsey on the ground. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 3. To throw is Jackson. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. And their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football.
Result of the play is a turnover on down.
Go tonight.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And they see right through that defensively. As he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, Goff. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Here's Goff. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. Max Crosby in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. This is taken at the 15. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Throw caught by Flowers. Now he's loose again. And down to the 16. A big... on the catch and run, 59 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Flowers on the jet sweep. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage. Put your heat.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up. Was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.